told us that they're going to be doing this in other areas. So just a heads up. So we're going to get started in a few minutes. We're going to try to get this moving quickly because the weather might change on us. Jackson Heights Co-op Alliance. Marilyn, do you want to say something? No?
Go ahead, Marilyn.
This is Marilyn.
Hi, thank you all for coming. It really makes a difference. The bigger the crowds, the better it is. We can look for media attention. The last meeting we had was actually well attended. I would say probably close to 150 to 200 people showed up on the street on 34th Avenue to complain. So this was a wonderful idea that came to fruition with the Jackson Heights Co-ops Alliance. It started out very small and only co-ops. And it's really only 7 people. The rest of you are supporters. And we cherish you, and we try to keep you informed. It's very important that you participate. Because in Sunnyside, they did public hearings in person, and they stopped the redistricting. So if we keep insisting on public hearings in person, we may have a shot here. All the lawyers have declined to respond to me when I went to them. So I am having a very hard time with that venue. And a lot of the politicians have declined to participate and come to the table. In the beginning, they heard us, but they didn't listen. And they didn't make the changes that we all requested. So all we can say is we no longer really want compromise. We want it to be undone. Finished.
Yes.
Okay, it's all cosmetic. There is nothing here that's permanent, but it's costing taxpayers a tremendous amount of money. And it wasn't even on their budget. Okay, I couldn't find a line item in their budget, either DOT or City Council, that was for open streets. So how they're getting their funding, I have no idea, but it's very, very curious. Okay, we were supposed to, at a DOT meeting, get drains put along 34th Avenue. I have yet to see them put in, but they're busy doing parking blockage and cement barricades and making us feel like we're a terrorist area. So all I can say is get your neighbors to participate. This came up as we became active. All of a sudden at 90th Street, they started to 93rd Street. Now that shows you that we have an impact, because before that I didn't see anything in the plans for them to do that. And they started with all the cement barricades. So keep speaking out. And don't worry if people criticize you. Just keep speaking, because it makes a difference. And we will have candidates in the next election that will make a difference.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me? Just to let everyone know, we did invite all the politicians to come, and as you see, none of them have showed up. We invited Shaker, we invited...
He'll be here tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, he'll be here tomorrow at 9 o'clock. If you want to protest, some of us are coming. But we reached out to them. We reached out to the fire department. They did not come, but 3 of us went over to the fire department and we spoke to a lieutenant. He doesn't want his name used for obvious reasons. He told us that this firehouse here is not happy with this setup. It is dangerous. They can't get through. It is harder for them to have to move the barricades, and in some spots they can't get through at all. No, they can't get through. The fire department says that they can't get through. Of course, the lieutenant who spoke to us is not what his name mentioned. We didn't even get his name. He gave us a few other names that we reached out to the fire department to come and talk to us. Hopefully, maybe in the next protest that we have, they will come. But last protest, if you remember, in front of 145, we did have the cops come to talk to us, and they are not happy. And the sanitation department said that the snow plows will not be able to get through here to any of this stuff. So, please, everyone, move back. Watch out, a car's coming.
Cars are coming behind you.
So the sanitation department said that the snowplows will not be able to get through the concrete barriers, so we might not have snow removal on 34th Avenue. I mean, come on. We're gonna have to walk through snow. And what else did I want to tell you? Okay, look over here.
Changing the pickup of the garbage.
Oh yeah, of course the pickup of the garbage and sanitation, they're having trouble with that. They had told us also that, as you can see, that they can't get down here. If the garbage is placed over here, they can't get down here. How are they going to get their trucks down here? We want to talk about the glass gravel. Right here on this stuff, any of this brown type stuff that's been all over 34th Avenue is what we found out to be glass gravel. You could see, especially at night, the glass reflected. Okay, so OSHA says it's okay to use. Yes, it's okay to use on the street where there's cars going back and forth, but I don't think it's okay to use when kids are playing on it. PS 398, we have heard from parents that kids are they're playing on it and they're falling, they're ripping their pants, they're getting bloody knees and hands. And so this is, you can see, we did close-ups of the glass gravel. We're going to investigate this further. We're trying to get a sample.
It's also for the dogs.
The
because
sense, oh yeah, and
I
the
walk my
dog.
dog all the time.
The
and
dogs are-
I'm not gonna get my dog cut on the
Cut.
paw
Yeah.
because of that. You know, this is gonna be held in back. Why don't you during the time? Oh, thank you.
Hi there. This is going to be held back during the winter time. Let's face it, everybody. They took all this stuff from us, the parking and so forth, but what are they accommodating? The people that don't have parking spaces in garages. Are you guys actually going to be paying, what, 200 or whatever amount of money for public garages? I mean, they made this whole entire park supposedly for everybody, but they took everything away from the people that actually have to park here. In the wintertime, you know for a fact that it gets dark very, very soon. 4:30, 5 o'clock, it gets dark. And then what happens? You're going to be walking around with your, let's say, your groceries or whatever blocks away. And that's dangerous for people that may be walking by themselves. Seniors, kids, children, I mean, whoever, it doesn't matter. You can get jumped, you can get mugged. You don't know that. You're going to be parking your car where? Roosevelt, all the way where? To Northern Boulevard. And then you've heard on the news, people go around with their little Vespas and they can jump you, anything can happen. And in the wintertime, I'm from Chicago, okay? So I know for a fact, in Chicago, the snow goes sky high. But here, people don't even know how to really use the sanitation here to clean up the snow. They're gonna pile it up on the streets that don't have this particular going on. That's gonna be a pain. And I can assure you that people, if it was me, I'd be parking over here and say, forget it. I'm not gonna be parking my car 10 miles away to try to get home in the middle of the night when you're working late shifts. And if you're gonna get literally towed, they should be paying for this towing, and they should be paying for the parking ticket that most likely people are gonna get. The ambulances can't get by, the fire department can't get by, there's hardly no police presence here. People just ignore the street light. I drive, so when I have to make sure no kids decide to just zoom on by because they think, hey, you know what, it's a free place, let me keep on going. The dogs as well, this gravel here, my dog already got cut under his paws. Are they gonna pay for my vet bill? I don't think so. These vet bills are $300 and up. And kids as well, you know, they see them, and let's face it, then you got other people from different areas coming by, looting, garbage on the streets. The rats are gonna be even worse. I'm not kidding you. I sometimes go around here, and my friend Edwin can actually attest to this. I'm picking up other people's poop or other people's garbage because they're not even bothering to throw it away. And the garbage that's right there, the garbage cans are recyclable and for regular cans. And they still just throw in the garbage. This is going to be a hot mess. Well, this is all I have to say. I'm sorry to take over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, one more thing, I just want to say that we filed a FOIA request with the Department of Transportation to find out about this stuff, and we haven't received word back from them, of course, but we will find out.
Good morning, Jackson Heights residents. I have been a resident of Jackson Heights for over 60 years. My name is Joan Cabanos. I'm from South Street. I will tell you that with all the problems that we have confronted through the years, we had great leaders. We had leaders like Ivan Lafayette, Helen Marshall, who then became Queensborough president. My mentors were Mary Verishka and Judy Grubin. Judy Grubin is still here. We have always had support from our elected officials, and that's how we survive. This time around, they say, and a small group of us started this, where we went to every meeting, every Zoom meeting. This is 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, and we were alerted. We knew that, we never knew that it was going to emerge into something like this. But we knew the closure. At first, we were not happy with the open streets, but then we understood that we have to compromise, and we were willing to do that. From that, this is what's happening now, and it's not going to stop. So now it's dangerous. It's not our comfort. It's the danger. It means life and death. So we still go back to the same officials that we were talking to 2 years ago. We've been on every Zoom. We've been represented. And they say, oh yeah, that is my quote, they hear us, but they are not listening. So that's what we have to do. We have to change them. From all the way to mayor's not listening, DOT, forget about it. They know us by first names, and they are not listening. And the coalition, who has implemented this whole thing and is connected with all these other departments. So we as residents have to voice our opinion. You have to tell, I will tell you, as active as I am, there are people in my building that are just after 2 years realizing what's happening because now they're seeing it. So I beg you, please tell your friends, tell your relatives, this is a danger and it's life and death at this point. So, be careful. Yeah, be careful. So I implore you, please support us, sign the petition, come to our town hall meeting, and do what you can to stop this debacle. Thank you.
Hi, I just want to address 2 things. The noise pollution has totally affected the quality of all of our lives. The motorcycles and every other vehicle that is and is not allowed on 34th Avenue blatantly ignore all of the traffic signals. I walked up to Louis Armstrong House yesterday for an afternoon concert thinking it was going to be a lovely afternoon. And it was while I was there. But the walk up and back, I can't tell you how many times I was told to F off because I was trying to walk with the light on the sidewalk and motorcycles were cutting me off. Yesterday on about 10 blocks there was no one, but on the sidewalk with me were about 17 bicycles. It's a joke. No one is minding any rules or regulations and it's dangerous as hell.
Good afternoon, my name is Clarence Loaded, and I am here to say that this is a very dangerous process that they have done for us. We are not able, right now, when the snow comes, like we're saying, the plowing is not able to get done. Another thing is that people with accessoride or other, like ambulance services and so forth, we have a hard time when it snows to get from our street across to get onto accessoride. Right now, they're leaving us without because they're picking us up in corners. So if we can't walk from here to the corner, how are we gonna get to do our daily work? And this, I think, is dangerous. I think it's a lot of things happening here since this has been done. People are getting robbed, people, right, you know, so I think that they hear our petitions. I don't know why they did such a thing. I think it might look beautiful in Fifth Avenue or so forth, but here it doesn't, because these are houses. What happens if there's a fire and they can't get across? They're gonna let the building burn because of the problem? So we have to try to stay together and speak up. I hope that they hear our voices And that's all I could say. We're praying that something good will come out of this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for staying. So far, it feels like it's starting to rain. Thank you for everybody's comments. Okay, tomorrow, supposedly, this has not been confirmed, but if anyone is around tomorrow, 9 o'clock tomorrow, supposedly, our council person, City Council Shakar, I say his name wrong all the time, not sure which way it is. They were invited to come today, just notified. We didn't give them a formal invite, but I sent the emails out saying this is what's happening. If you want to see what your community really wants, then come out and speak to us. Speak to us, speak to the people, not to the people who are running 34th Avenue, because they have a different agenda than we need. Okay, so if you can, tomorrow 9 o'clock, we'll be over at Travis Park. If he shows up, we can let him know. If he doesn't, well, sorry, but we're giving you the information we have. That's all we can do, is to give you what we've been told. Okay, 311. I know everybody says 311, we don't get anywhere. You got to call 311 when you have a complaint. Watch yourself, there's cars turning, folks. They do go back, supposedly, that's what we're told with our investigation. They do go to 311 and see how many times people do call and complain about things. So please, please, please do it online, do it on your phone, just pick up the phone. It's very cumbersome. I hate it, but we need to do it. I'm only passing on the information. Our job right now, as far as I'm concerned, is bringing to you what we have tried to find out. We've gone to the police station. They came last month. Sanitation, they came. Fire department, we have been to. They can't come out and tell us face to face. You'll have some of the ones that are pro-Avenue telling us that we're full of it, but 3 of us were there talking to the lieutenant last week, asking them if they would come, and they said the metal barriers were one thing. The cement barriers, they cannot, if you go real slow, they will fit through there. But he said there's a chance that if they're coming fast and turn, the fire truck could then flip over. And if that's the case, they can't get to anybody, and they are in danger also. We requested to them if they couldn't come out and tell us this is wrong, tell us how we can help them, maybe do a mailing or do a rally for them, because they're risking their life to come save us and they can't get here. So this is dead wrong. This is so wrong. Halloween parade. Okay. I don't know, years and years, we've had a wonderful Halloween parade on 37th Avenue from the Jackson Heights Beautification Group. It's been great, and it's every year. 37th Avenue looks forward to it. The last couple of years, they've tried to do this thing on 34th Avenue where people come out and give candy to the kids at 2 to 4 in costume. I don't understand why we have to take away from something that's in our community that works. Because some of those kids that come out for the 2 to 4 aren't going to then go down to 37th Avenue. The parents aren't going to, do that. So what we need is just, let's get back to being one community. Let's stop this division. And 34th Avenue has caused a division. We need Jackson Heights to be Jackson Heights. Our home, our community. We need everybody to spread the word and help us. Okay? We don't know how we're going to get this changed, if we're going to get it changed, but I'll be damned. We're not going down without a fight. Okay? This is our community, and we have to speak out.
One more thing. Coming out of the garages, sometimes it's hectic on 34th because we have trucks that are parking right where we're supposed to go in to make a turn. So if you make one wrong turn and hit something or hit one of these things. I saw a man hit one of these things because he couldn't get through. The other day, I couldn't get through, period, because there was a truck right there, and
they block. I know.
And they block you like
UPS
It was their street.
guided me to come around one of these and around him. There's the areas on the corners where they're supposed to be pulling into. That's what their answer to that is. We have filed a FOIA, which is a Freedom of Information Act, to find out about the gravel. I do have a Freedom of Information Act in for the fire department to see if their response times have come, have slowed down coming to us. They won't get to me. They said by December 23rd, I might hear back from them. In the meantime, does your job give you that long to come back and answer a question? I mean, this is ridiculous, okay? Also, as Joan said, we got to keep our political people working for us, not for the trans alternative and those things with the ones with the big money in the pocket. We need local people. So if a local person comes out and runs, please back them. Hopefully they'll be good.
The next town hall meeting in the round. What if it was on 82nd and North? Obviously not blocking the
Can you give her the
White House, but on
microphone so we
block.
can hear her
You
question?
know, there will be more people paying. Give her the microphone.
Okay, the lady just said, why don't we have it on 82nd Street? We have been trying to put this in different places. We started at 94th Street. We were down on 70 in front of the school down at 230. Okay, we were there, we were up at 149, then we were at 145. We were supposed to go down to 69, down by 69th Street, because there's a lot of houses down there, and up in the 80s. Those are the two other spots that we've missed so far. But we're going to try to get there. We're holding,
March.
we want to have a march before the weather gets too cold, and hopefully you people will come out with signs. We're trying to get the publicity. If anybody has connections with lawyers, with people who know about the media, because the media is giving us dead zone. We've emailed everybody. But we're now going the social media route, where we're going with the YouTubes. Did everybody see our YouTube? If you haven't, look it up. I think it's called, if you go on YouTube, I'm not very good at this, 34th Avenue Close Street, and you'll see a very good video from the last town hall where the police department and the sanitation department, from their mouths, have said that these are causing problems for them. The police last 3 weeks ago said that they cannot come down and patrol the streets. They can come side streets. Some of the streets they can make a turn on, but with the barriers they can't, with the cement barriers. And the sanitation, they say they're going to try, and for us to work with their pickup guys, with this, the sanitation pickup people, but when the snow comes, he said, we haven't been told how we're going to be able to do this. We have the smaller trucks for the bike areas, but he said it will take a day to do 2 blocks. He said that that's not acceptable, and we all agreed with him. So it's on the YouTube channel, or the YouTube Close Street, what did I say? 34th Avenue Close Street. It's very good. It's a little long, but it's very good. You'll see it right from there, from the horse's mouth, they say. And also the glass gravel. This is what's going down. If you can get it's on the video, it's on the YouTube also. Oh, okay, yeah.
New York has failed us all. Since COVID, they've taken everything from us, and we need to come together and take care of this. Our seniors are at risk, there's more homeless, and there's nothing that they're doing. Where are all these millions of dollars that this state has received, and this is what we're doing? I love the flower pots. Do you know how much money it takes to cost to maintain these? What about this glass gravel? What was it needed for? How many millions of dollars did we spend from here to Junction Boulevard?
88 million.
88 million. What are they doing for us here? Our senior citizens can't afford apartments. They can't afford senior living. They can't afford food. They're not getting anything they need. The kids are not getting anything they need. Look at our education system. They are failing our children. I love everybody, all nationalities, all races. I believe in helping the people. They're not helping the people. We're putting people on Randall's Island and keeping us prisoners, and that's what they're doing here in Jackson Heights. With the fire trucks not coming in, they are looking for modification. They are looking for more money. When these buildings go down, modern buildings come up, and where do we go? What do we do? And they don't care. Who gets all the help? It's not our senior citizens, because they can barely survive food stamps because they can't get it. They make $1 too much. Accessoride. My father unfortunately had an ambulance emergency back in March, and if it wasn't for friends in my building while I was at work, he could have possibly died in front of the house. In front of the house that should be accessible at all times.
They tried to get to our building for an elderly gentleman. They had to go around 35th Avenue because they couldn't get through. What if he was having a heart attack or a stroke? He would have died.
They won't open the gates.
He would have died.
And look at the building. It was in 90th and 92nd Street a year and a half ago. Those people are still displaced. And the only thing they're waiting for is a big enough paycheck to make a modern building, to charge more rent for people not to be able to live. There's no help here, and we need to stand together. Without this, we've fallen apart during COVID, and we have to get back together.
Thank you for articulating the situation very well. I just want to remind everyone, Jackson Heights is 182,000 constituents. We have to get out and vote. Vote the current administrations out. Get who you want to run for office. It's very important. The people who are trying to block us are very few. They're 1% of our constituency. Get yourself moving. This is important. Okay, for 2 years, this group has tried to mobilize people, and we got signatures, no problem. We have about 3,000 signatures, and we keep growing. The problem is, they don't see you physically. And when they do, because they're not holding public in-person hearings, that's why they don't see you. When we did that just before the pandemic, we stopped the Q49 from being rerouted. Okay? That's our neighborhood. We are strong, and we need to be heard. And right now, money is driving all of this. Okay? Money paying the campaigns of 3 individuals who came from nowhere with no experience. But they are easily moldable, and that's what we have. That's my personal opinion. That is not the opinion of the Alliance. Just so you know, I'm making that very clear. But I've only lived here almost 18 years. And I can tell you it has drastically changed in the past 7 years. Anybody else? I don't think it's for the better.
I said not for the better.
We just want to thank everyone that came, and we want to thank our committee, Kathy, Marilyn, whoever else is here. I also want to thank Soraya. She made us a lot of copies to put out our flyers, and that is so important to us. I don't know if she's here today or not, but I just wanted to thank her.
Julia,
And
can you mention what they're planning on doing to Northern Boulevard?
we have no idea.
As far as the bus lanes?
I don't know about that. Anybody know about the bus lane?
That's another issue.
So what are they going to do? They're going to destroy Northern Boulevard too?
Yes.
They're going to they want to put a bike lane on each side.
The bus is going to go down the center, right?
Hey everyone, they want to put a bus lane on each side of the street and a bike lane. So that's going to eliminate all the parking that's over there also, and it's just going to increase the traffic that's already here. That's impossible. And parking is even worse. It's just going and going in a negative way.
As far as parking goes, you can see on every corner they made these, I don't know what they're called, all the way down. So the corner parking spots are, they eliminated like 2 spots for every single block. And so that every day there's a different parking spot taken away. This is getting ridiculous already. They can't take any more parking spots away. We have to do something seriously. I don't know what yet, but we're working on it. If anyone has suggestions,
Is that the same?
The one big thing our organization needs is you. You. You gotta get the word out. Now, if you want to get our organization name, go to Facebook. It's JCHA. All right? Besides, we have concerned citizens and also concerned organizations who have joined us. We are working to try to get this also legal. There was never an environmental impact done. And/or there was never a referendum done. And at the point, as you all guess, from the governor, the mayor, our local politicians, what's his name? Checker? Oh, okay, yeah. They're all for this, all right? At the beginning, yes, pandemic, it was a good idea, but not the after effects. Open kitchens, flea markets, and you just setting up that day. At one time, they were talking about putting benches on the meridians. You can just imagine what that would mean 24/7 at night and noise. We have a lot of noise complaints, right? A couple of our members had to warn a couple of seniors. It was after 8 o'clock and they were walking down 34th Avenue, not realizing that the street was now open for cars. But again, the one big thing that we need is you, the public, the Jackson Heights public. Go to Facebook, get our flyers. We have a code on there that you can use to read and so forth to get all the information. All right? And again, Kathy, Julia, Marilyn, Joan, thank you again. We appreciate it. And stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. We appreciate it, and we'll keep you informed. If you give us your email, we'll send out emails for any other protests or rallies or marches that we have, and we will have another one very soon.
Yes, an American Disabilities paper that if you want it.